It's Friday morning, and you can feel that familiar buzz in the air. Preparations are already well underway ahead of the weekend, and there's this quiet confidence floating about. The kind that makes you think, maybe tomorrow's the day. The day things finally click, the day we get the result we've been waiting for. K-Monix coming up next, and there's a sense that something big could happen. With the league title potentially on the line, it's hard not to get a wee bit carried away. So let's keep things positive. Even though our boys haven't kicked a ball this week, there's been no shortage of chat surrounding the team. Football never sleeps, and neither do the headlines. Some of the stories popping up lately have been properly intriguing. I've had my eyes on the Champions League midweek fixtures. Tuesday night had a few decent matchups, but I focused on the Arsenal tie. It was fine, nothing spectacular, but I did expect more from Madrid, if I'm honest. They just didn't turn up the way you'd think a club of their stature would. It was all very flat. That being said, Thierry's impact off the bench was something else. The moment he stepped onto the pitch, everything changed. You could see the lift he gave the whole team, and it's rare to see a player grab the match by the scruff of the neck like that these days. Declan Rice as well. His set pieces were pure class. Every free kick he took had the crowd on edge. It's those wee moments that remind you why we love this sport, even when our own team's not involved directly. Caught a bit of the PSG versus Villa game yesterday as well. And I have to say, both teams have been a real joy to watch this season. Fast, fearless, full of flair. Watching them go toe-to-toe felt like a proper European night. One of those games. You mark down and think, I'd love our lot to be in the middle of that. It's the kind of fixture that gets the heart racing, the one you count down to. That's what you want to see at this level. Teams playing with purpose, giving the fans something to remember. Now, despite all the excitement on the pitch, there's been no shortage of criticism flying about the footballing world this week. Some of it's warranted right enough. Some performances have been dire, no two ways about it. One European tie in particular was a total letdown. Spent 90 minutes watching it waiting for something, anything, to spark the game into life, and nothing came. Honestly felt like a waste of an evening. You know the type of match where even the highlight reel struggles to fill 30 seconds. It's probably a blessing in disguise that a few supporters I know didn't tune in. I'm telling you, if they had, they'd have been ranting for hours. One of those games where you're actually relieved you missed it. No urgency. No bite, just bland football. And yet elsewhere, the chaos continues. One team in particular, not naming names, has been on a shocking run lately. Loss after loss. And it's not even like they're getting narrowly beaten. They're getting outclassed in matches you'd expect them to boss. Meanwhile, another side who had a man advantage for most of their last game still couldn't pull off the win. It's baffling. Just goes to show football doesn't always follow logic. You can dominate the stats, the possession, everything, and still come away empty-handed. And if I'm honest, this season's felt strange in a lot of ways. There's this uneasy feeling like we're watching something off-kilter. Calling it unusual might be putting it lightly. It feels like we're in this weird transitional period and nobody's really sure how to make sense of it. Take Queen's Park, for example. They managed to get the better of us. Then Motherwell did the same. St. Mirren, too. And yet when Athletic Club had a man sent off and played a large chunk of the match, a man down, we still couldn't make it count. It's a funny old game, isn't it? Or maybe not so funny depending on how you look at it. Honestly, I think the word I'd use is worrying. A lot of fans are starting to feel the pressure, and the cracks are definitely beginning to show. I didn't even watch the Rangers game live last week. Was busy with other things, checked the score around the 75th minute, saw we were 1-0 up and thought, that'll do. Put the phone away, carried on with my day. Felt pretty chuffed, to be honest. And then I found out the goal had been chalked off. And on top of that, we missed a penalty. I mean, come on. That kind of mess is becoming all too familiar in our European outings, isn't it? Missed chances, dodgy decisions, and a growing sense that maybe we're not where we need to be. But right now, all eyes are on Carmela. That's the match that matters now. And given everything that's been said about the club this week, or rather everything that hasn't been said, you can tell it's been eerily quiet. No real updates from the club, no big statements. It's been radio silence since the weekend. The situation with Joe, for instance, is a sore one. I said it earlier in the week after watching back his performances, and I know we've touched on it a few times here on the channel, but since the moments we highlighted his form, it's been downhill. 3 losses back to back. Hibs Rangers are now St. Johnstone. Some folk even joked I should put myself on a speaking ban just to stop jinxing the team. I laughed it off at first, but honestly, I'm starting to wonder if there's something in I used to always look at things with a glass half full approach, especially when it came to Celtic. Always tried to be the optimistic one. But I'm telling you, every time I've leaned into that positive energy this season, it's come back to bite me. So maybe it's time to switch gears. Maybe we need to be more critical, more realistic. This year's been nothing like what we're used to. 2025 has thrown up more questions than answers. Hard to believe we're watching the same team we did in early 2024. I remember walking out of matches with my dad back then thinking, that was proper football. Some of the most entertaining stuff I've seen from Celtic since the golden era. Not just results, I'm talking about the actual play, the flow, the feeling. There was something special about it. Now though, it's like we've hit a wall. Whether you're watching from the stands or through the telly, it's tough to stay engaged. And if ever there was a time for a proper bounce-back performance, it's now. Not just to shut folk up, but to prove something to ourselves. That we're still that team. That there's still a reason to believe. It's been a while since I was last on here, probably over a month. And to be honest, maybe that break did me some good. Life's been pretty full on. I'm getting married this summer, so there's been loads going on behind the scenes. Wedding planning appointments, organizing everything. It's a madhouse. But even with all that, I've not missed a game. Not one. I've kept watching, kept hoping. Still glued to the screen, still riding every high and every low like always. But this season, it's just different. Here we are close to securing a domestic treble, and yet the vibe feels off. The Scottish Cup's still there to be won, and the league, well, we've got 6 games left to seal that. But it's not straightforward. There's a weight to this running that wasn't there in past years. You'd expect the team to be coasting by now, playing with a bit of swagger. Instead, everything feels tight, a bit nervy. That Ibrox fixture coming up, that one feels like it could define more than just the points. There's something about it, something big. And it's not just about results. It's about the way we're playing, about the energy or lack of it. Earlier in the year, we had fans walking out of grounds, buzzing, feeling like they just witnessed something special. Now it's frustration. There's a lack of control, a lack of intensity. We're getting results here and there, but it's all a bit scrappy. If we beat in St. Johnstone last weekend, Saturday would feel totally different. We'd be flying into the Caymanic match thinking the title was there for the taking and earned the right way. Now it feels uncertain, like we need to prove ourselves again. Some are saying they'd be happy to win the league without kicking another ball if results elsewhere go our way. Me, I want to see it done on the pitch. I want the lads to lift that trophy off the back of a solid 90 minutes. Not because someone else slipped up. That's just the way I am. Football is about moments, and I want that one to belong to us, not come handed down from a rival's defeat. That said, I can understand both sides of the argument. There's been chatter around it. Matthias Visgaard again, remember him, the Brøndby striker. The club's chairman came out and said they turned down offers for him in January. Never said outright it was Celtic who came knocking, but it's hard not to connect the dots. Apparently, no offer was big enough to make them reconsider. But you get the feeling it's one of those not yet situations, the type where everyone knows a move is coming, just not right now. They've clearly got a plan to hold on to him through the spring, especially with big fixtures on the horizon. Summer, that's a different story. Now, speaking of summer, you've got to wonder, will we be seeing a new striker come in last time? We talked about this. I was more on the no side. Didn't think it was a priority. But I've got to be honest, Dane's recent performances haven't exactly been lighting things up. Last Sunday especially, it was just flat. And when Adameda came on, he actually looked like breaking the lines a bit, creating a bit of danger. He even set up James Forrest, who probably should have scored. It makes you think, doesn't it? There's been a fair bit of stick thrown Dane's way. Some say he's not doing enough, not influencing the game. And while I still rate him highly, he's been brilliant centrally for most of the season. He's definitely dipped a bit. The name Fishard keeps popping up, and it's no surprise. There's been consistent talk around him, and if the club's been circling for a while, it makes sense to go for it, especially when you think back to how we let Kogo go right in the middle of a Champions League campaign. That decision still sits uneasily with me. Personally, I don't see striker as the top priority, but if the coaching staff clearly think we're missing something, then fair play. It's not just about bringing someone in either, it's about pushing the others. Adidas, for example, could find himself third choice if a new name arrives. Maybe he didn't expect that when he joined, but competition's healthy. It might just give him the kick he needs to push himself. I have no problem with that. Healthy pressure is good as it leads to improvements. But the drop-off in form lately does raise questions about how busy we need to be in the summer window. At the start of the season, we looked stacked, full of depth, full of quality. But now, that's not quite how it feels. There are gaps. The midfield balance still doesn't sit right with me. A Nicholas Kuhn's dip in form is becoming hard to ignore. If Dane's going to keep playing centrally, that changes how we look at the wings too. Because let's be honest, Maeda has been most dangerous coming in from wide. That's where 2/3 of his 30-odd goals have come from. Take him out of that role and we lose something. And that's the crux of it. Just because one player is doing well enough doesn't mean we shouldn't be looking to strengthen. That mentality can't creep in. This is Celtic. We should always be aiming higher. At one point, Darren was flying. Now he's solid, but he's not blowing teams away. That's fine. It happens. But we can't let that stop us from thinking about what comes next. The same goes for the rest of the squad. Clee's departure was meant to open the door for someone to step up. But that hasn't really happened. There's areas in this squad that clearly need a refresh, especially with the European qualifiers coming up. That's no time for passengers. We need everyone sharp, everyone locked in. Back in the summer after the window shut, there was a feeling we had one of the strongest groups we'd seen in years. We brought in Sloop. There was a buzz around the squad. The Bayern match had people dreaming, but fast forward a month or two, and suddenly you're looking at names on the team sheet and thinking, is this really our best 11? Nicholas Kuhn's a prime example. Start of the season, folk were saying he'd be a £30 million player. Now there's talk he'd be sold for a third of that. It's wild how quickly opinions change. Same with Ingles. I thought he kicked on, looked sharp early doors, but now there's doubts, questions, fans aren't sure. I still think he's got something, but it's clear we're at the point where serious changes are needed. No more papering over cracks. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. In a move that has stunned the footballing world, whispers are growing louder that Brazilian icon Neymar Jr. is on the brink of a sensational signing with Celtic FC. Yes, that's Celtic. For what could be the swan song of his glittering European career. At 33, and currently donning the iconic white of Santos once more, Neymar may be trading the beaches of Brazil for the green and white terraces of Glasgow in 2026. The rumor alone has electrified fans and sparked debate across continents. Neymar's journey has been nothing short of cinematic. From dazzling debutant at Santos to Champions League hero at Barcelona to becoming the world's most expensive player with his headline-grabbing move to PSG. He has won it all. La Liga, League One, Copa Libertadores, and etched his name in history books as Brazil's all-time top scorer. But what he hasn't done since 2015 is lift the Champions League trophy again, and insiders suggest that itch still burns fiercely. So why Celtic? According to sources close to the player, Neymar is enticed not just by the romanticism of one final European adventure, but by the promise of becoming an eternal legend in a club steeped in tradition. Celtic, despite their dominance in Scotland, have been starved of European silverware since their historic 1967 triumph. For Neymar, the challenge of taking an underdog all the way may be the perfect final chapter to an extraordinary tale. Scottish football community is already buzzing at the mere thought. Shirts are being printed, season ticket waiting lists have exploded. This would be bigger than Larson. One fan posted on social media, referring to the Hoop's own iconic striker. While others remain skeptical, pointing to Neymar's injury history and the physicality of Scottish football, the excitement is palpable and contagious. Neither Neymar nor Celtic have confirmed the move yet, but with his short-term contract at Santos set to expire in June 2025, the timing couldn't be more poetic. One last dance in the Champions League, not with the giants of Europe, but with the heart and soul of Glasgow. If it happens, it won't just be a transfer. It'll be a footballing fairy tale in the making. Hello fan, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.